Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board to flight TM015. This is your captain speaking, Gqeberha. I'm with my co-pilot Hausa, and the destination for today is layers of urban decay in South Africa, and that's what will be. So prepare yourself for the takeoff, put your seats upright and close your overhead storages, and fasten your seatbelts as we take off to the destination of layers of urban decay in SA. Hopefully it will be a nice journey with us. Anything from your side?
Check-in is that, look man, the topic is very interesting. It gives you a good sense of the fields. And generally it also make you understand and appreciate the possibilities that this too can pass.
Yeah,
which maybe,
it has to.
Yeah, which maybe if I would take the liberty on providing the journey map, right? The map is so is that we will look at the meaning of the word decay or urban decay. And then we look at the origins just slightly, and then we go through the triggers. We highlight the science of urban decay. Number 4, its cost implications or impact, if you like. 5, we take examples of the cities in South Africa that really depicts the picture, and then we go to our continental or stages. So the 5 and 6 can be dealt, because as we look at the continental, we will then make examples of the CBDs or including towns, you know.
Yeah,
so we'll stretch between.
Yeah, let's not be restricted to CBDs because the decay is affecting more than that.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
Yeah. So we're looking at the urban space. If towns are in the urban space, yes, they fall under. And then 7 is then we go to our desktop, which will bring today's desktop. It's about looking at the previously cities that were affected or historically that were affected by the urban decay and managed to come out of it, you know, so that at least we know that it's not all lost, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we do a 1-minute pitch. So do you know your direction in the 1-minute pitch? Have you thought about it?
Yes, I've got it written on my last page here, so yeah, all is in order with
What's your...
my 1-minute pitch will be based on preventative maintenance. What are the moves or actions or efforts that could be initiated to prevent all of this urban decay from happening? What are some issues, or what needs to be addressed directly to prevent all of the problems from happening?
Yeah, I mean, my 1-minute take would be who is directly involved in getting into decay and taking us off decay in terms of the principal head, which is justifying why do I think mayors are a key component into this thing, more than I'm a premier, more than any other political principle, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, or state institution or apparatus, if you like. So I mean, as I say, why do I think mayors are directly implicated?
Okay.
Yeah, and then we do our take home, and then we descend, sorry, and we descend. Okay.
Yeah, I think that that makes things easier for all of us, and let's go into the meaning, as you're saying.
Yeah.
You would like to take off with that part.
Yeah, I mean, the starting point in a meaning is that the word decay has to do with rot. If you look into medical, I'm a dentist. They talk of
dental decay. Tooth decay. Yeah.
So it's rot. That's the sweet and short of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was adopted mainly in the first world countries to treat right? Liverpool and Glasgow. So these are the countries that made this thing popular, and this happened in post-industrial times.
In their spaces.
Yeah. So what they first defined, or what really brought about this term, is that we post-industrial decline. So many factories were left abandoned or shut down. So then they created those gaps in the cities.
Okay.
So that's when the term emerged.
Oh, I didn't know that, but it sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
It comes from that.
Yeah. In Liverpool. I mean, it's Britain. Britain.
Yes.
So yeah, Detroit, USA.
Okay, so basically, something else is triggering in my mind. As Britain is a first world country, we all know that.
Yeah.
So it means what we are going through now is something they experienced a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because
it feels like a rite of passage.
Yeah, I guess there are certain things that must happen in order for other good things to happen.
True.
That's a snowball effect.
Yeah.
Means it's like you can't be a baby and run without walking and falling and scratching and going through that phase.
Yeah.
So I think the meaning is quite clear with me.
Yeah. Then it's stretched over time, like in recent times. It then had a multi-layered meaning, because not only are you looking at broken buildings, we are also looking at broken system, right? Like when factories are abandoned, or you have abandoned factories or house stock, or like you'll find government houses that are lying shallow and maybe hijacked, and then there's then the tendency is that tax spaces will shrink. So your level of collection of taxes in that zone will shrink, because people are not paying taxes for their businesses, right? And then over governance failure is part of the aspect. These are the part of the layers. Social fragmentation.
Yeah, you see, then all that neglect will always lead to high crime, poverty, and everything else. Yes.
And social fragmentation in our case, it's when we're looking at invasion of illegal foreigners.
Yeah, look, on migration, my view is that migration it's an element of life. It happens even with animals. Which if this season doesn't have water to drink, then we move to an area that has a water supply. So human beings do the same thing, and which is a good thing, and it allows a rotation of exposure. It just needs to be managed well.
Here's another view on what you are saying, is that we are no longer nomads, right?
What's a nomad?
Nomad, it's like Khoisan.
Oh, okay.
They, like what you're explaining, is to move and follow seasons, or follow the abundance of either in their case it's prey, right? Or green pastures.
Yes.
We're no longer nomads. It means you can stay in your area for a lifetime, as long as it provides the resources that you require for survival.
Yeah.
But the issue of exploring, which is what you are saying, it's appreciated and encouraged.
Yes.
Right? Because it's got moderate numbers. Because if you say, like for an example, the argument of having porous borders, so you can move around, the budget and the tax that we pay that is shrinking, it's appropriated based on population. So your salary when in your own household, it's appropriated based on the number of children you have. If you have 2 children or 5 children, once you start having 10, your salary will be strained, or your income or household income will be strained.
Which will reduce comfortability and
just progress.
Progress is delayed. Yes.
Yeah. So now the term, we're coming back to the STEM. The term recently it's encompassing of just modern buildings. It also includes systems.
Yes,
Yeah.
systems are the ones that run the operation. So
Yes.
if those systems are not in order, then you have a much bigger problem.
Yeah. Which brings us to the triggers.
Yes.
What really trigger? By trigger, it means in a gun, if you shoot, you've got a hammer and a bullet in the chamber, and a trigger.
The trigger is the initiator
Exactly.
of the explosion.
Yes.
Without that,
And the consequences.
Yeah.
True story. You know? So
Yeah.
so there are called triggers in this, because we know that now this is not a event, it's a process.
Yeah.
Right? So it means it's got chain reaction.
Exactly.
Something.
Yeah, and I think we know where this starts.
Yeah. We can make examples. The chain reactions generally, I think, a country or city could go under economic shock. Like 2008 or 9.
When we had, what do you call it? What's the word? Okay. It will come out.
Yeah, but let's call it economic shock.
Yeah, but we can just say economic shock.
Recession.
Yeah, recession, that's the word I was looking
Yeah.
for.
That could also trigger and set you up for a decay.
You know, at some point I was thinking, Guti, is this deliberate or not by whoever is controlling the movement of capital or the movement of resources at that particular time? There could be an element of a deliberate setup for failure.
That's I call that line of thinking. It's being a conspiracy theorists. You would want to say someone takes opportunity of that chaos, which is true. But do they deliberately set it up? I don't think we should give them, or whoever that is,
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, ne?
Too much credit.
Too much credit to that.
Let me make an example quickly,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
No stress. Make your.
For your house to have roaches, amaphela, you don't plan, you don't cook them. You don't go next door
And you
collect-
don't invite them.
You don't collect them and say, I want to have roaches here. You start not washing your dishes, not packing them, not cleaning.
The more that piles up,
Yeah.
you will definitely have roaches.
The more your house decays,
Yeah.
they're definitely they're going to infest. Infestation, it's imminent. Right? I'm trying to say, answering your question with, you don't plan it. You just go about being selfish or lazy or being incompetent.
Yeah, there is a lot of
Yeah.
truth in what you're saying.
Do you plan for your garden to have wheat?
I understand what you are saying.
Yes.
I mean, my example was based on a possibility which has proven has existed. Like you create a problem and a solution, and then you want to be the better person or the bigger picture, the bigger person, because you created a problem and a solution at the same time. Like AIDS.
Yeah, no,
for example.
I agree to a certain extent.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
All right.
Uguti, my slight view or contrary to yours is that there are people that take advantage once the space is chaotic.
Yeah.
There are people who going to benefit.
Yes, chaos does create opportunities to other people who think in a certain way.
Yeah.
And I guess in this journey, in this flight, we will do our best to focus on the most important points.
Yeah.
Let's
continue. We said economic shock. There's government's failure.
Yeah.
As a trigger, and then the infrastructure neglect, which is what we're mentioning. I'm just
packaging.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then there's demographic shifts, which is middle class flight, informal densification.
Yeah. I
checks.
Yes.
Illegal immigration. So that's demographic shifts.
And there is a lot of elements that are actually affecting this whole thing, because if you can look at the importance of education system as well, it could be one of the things that
governance failure.
The lack of governance failure has a very high impact On the negative side.
High impact.
High impact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Including security breakdown and policy misalignment. Which is policy misalignment, let me make an example. Umbeka angaza aze ngegear or ngasigiza ayichange. Yabo?
Yeah.
Make phuma omunye aze ngepolicy yakhe. We don't know Ramaphosa's direction. Was an NDP. Remember? National Development Plan.
Yes.
So the NDP does not even acknowledge the previous policies that were brought in or enacted. You know, I will incorporate in its formation or configuration at all.
Can I ask you something just for interest's sake?
Yeah.
Do you think the structure of leadership should stay intact so that it does not affect the progress that was already initiated? Because everyone who comes, there's like a reset, restart kind of a disadvantage.
Disadvantage, two-term.
Yes.
And it also supports your argument, the authoritarian leadership.
Yeah.
It supports, if you are to argue on your authoritarian, why do you want it? Not Joshua Mapongona is advocating for that. Blacks is advocating.
Yeah, which we don't need democracy.
Yeah. What authoritarian dictatorship?
Dictatorship would be our best solution.
It argues in your favor, or it supports your argument rather. We understand.
Yeah.
But as we try to be in this platform, we don't want to be one-sided, right?
Yeah. No, we need to
look
have
at the
an
blind
open.
spot.
Yeah.
Look at the blind spot. You were saying, go back to your point without diluting it, is that for continuity to happen, there must be some agreed upon structural formation.
There has to be an SOP.
Of course.
For progress and consistency.
Let's say for an example, ANC Bezoti, there are things that have been initiated and they must be locked for the next 20 years.
For the next 20 years.
Doesn't matter who comes in.
It does not
must
matter.
See to finish.
Yeah, but
failing which you must be brought down.
Yeah, you must be out of office if you can't comply with those locked principles.
So meaning what we can ask politicians to do is to start looking at continuous plans and locking certain policy down to be acknowledged as compulsory. You can twist them, meaning if our goal is to say we target 2% GDP growth, right, as a vision, right?
Okay.
And then we say what will be the maybe top 5 things, programs that needs to run these things, and there must be policy programs, right?
Yeah.
Let's say industrialization. So it doesn't matter who comes in. If you don't drive industrialization, it means we want to achieve 2%.
Yeah.
If we've agreed that industrialization is part of the programs that are going to afford us 2%. So with industrialization, there are all activities that must be looked at. That's the only thing you can change. And activities.
You know, Joe, in addition to what you're saying, it gives me pain, the reality of the fact that they inherited a self-oiled machine. And if the self-oiled machine had principles to lock the existence and the operation that was existing before they took over, if they were locked for the 20 years, 30 years maybe,
that's sort of to...
Yeah, if you inherit a self-oiled machine, my brother, a well-developed infrastructure, economic system, which would say every aspect of your operation was well-oiled when they took over. Let's be honest.
Transition from
so if their operating system, or even better, if there was a proper research done, or they invested enough capital to lock the inherited operation
with deliberate efforts,
do research as much as they did research with apartheid and how to it was locked. Apartheid was a locked system.
Let's say, I'm sorry to digress a little bit. You are enticing me.
Yeah.
Let's say we had to say, out of 10 things apartheid brought, how many items can we take out of the list, and how many items do we want to retain? It was supposed to be that conscious.
Yeah, so it goes down to the fact, Yoguti, there was no unity in terms of thinking. Let's leave economic thinking because it differs.
Yeah.
The unity to say, guys, we all want the same things.
Yeah. We have a functioning car.
We have a functioning car, and we know where we come from. You know, we have evidence of your Steve Biko's. You have evidence of people who wanted to invest more on independent and mental capacity, so that you can, progress and proceed.
Yeah.
Then it begs me to understand, why was that not accepted?
Look, remember, there's short-sightedness in a collective.
Yeah.
There's incapacity. There's lack of intellect in collective. You can be smart in this area or that area, but if you cannot, that's why in business they do SWOT analysis. They look at the strength, opportunities, weaknesses.
They do a case study basically.
We analyze. Let's say the two of us, we say, what are our strengths? We analyze them, we write them down, right? And then what are our weaknesses?
And you address them.
Yeah. And what sort of opportunities, which is external things that we, and what are the threats?
And then what gives me pain the most is that within our leadership, you have the graduates and the professionals who are skilled to do all of that analysis.
Yes.
It's not like we have a leadership that has a majority of uneducated people.
Yeah.
The majority of them have the necessary education.
That's why I'm saying that there are areas in which they will be gifted, and there are areas in which they have got weaknesses. If they analyze their weaknesses not based on individual, like Mandela, Rumbegi, or Usisul, but collective, what's the weakness? Which is the question that they asked. Remember, I think I've mentioned this in 1992, Matiba went to CO. Remember?
Yes.
And Mambu Buta, you read to read. And
I remember that he paused
yes.
And then he said yes.
He knew. Yeah.
He knew what the problem was.
Collectively, we are not ready. He might be ready and himself. Could have been. But anyway, I mean, coming back to the issue is that we evidence of decay. There's tangible and intangible. We've already touched on them, just to highlight them. Intangible aspect is tangible, what you can see. It's potholes. You can see a pothole. You can see a hijacked building, a dilapidated,
water leaks,
left abandoned building. Those are things that you can see. And then intangible, things that you cannot see with your naked eyes, naked eye. Systems. There's social aspects in it, there's political, there's economic, there's environmental, there's legal, and there's then technophobic aspect. Technophobic, it means failure to even tap into the new methods of using technology. So you can't see those things. So, but when you realize hey, technophobic an element, you must know it's part of the decay.
Yeah, I guess the decay is the outcome of the lack of awareness in all these things that you have mentioned.
It's the intangible evidence of it. We legal, it's selective justice. What you see in selective justice is that some people don't get arrested, ordinary people get arrested.
When you don't have money, you can't represent yourself well. So money can be defining factor in terms of implication, applying law. But we find ourselves in that situation when you can afford the good lawyers or the best lawyers, chances are you will win whatever case, even if you were wrong. You will definitely it's an unfair advantage.
That's a intangible evidence of urban decay in the comprehensive meaning of it.
And now this urban decay leads to,
I saw a pipeline.
yeah, it's leading to emotional decay, financial decay, physical, immoral decay, mamela, it decay. I believe it in what you just see.
Physical.
I believe it.
But psychological.
Mamela, it doesn't end there. It goes beyond that and deep.
Social ills. Let me see. Let's indicate. Once there's lack of law enforcement and there's lawlessness,
and on people who are not independent thinkers,
it creates it socially or economically, socio-economic. It creates unemployment. Then people start to like grape, right? Forcefully push themselves to females type of thing. I'm trying to manage my language for the sake of.
On top of that, it's a decay on the health.
Yeah.
As well.
Then there's more people who have
more sick people now. The hospitals are overcrowded and
people take advantage and bring substandard or inferior goods into the market. Then it creates Mackenzie. Yes.
Can you see the snowball effect of this thing?
This urban decay is big.
It's big and bad.
It irritates.
Yeah, I know it's irritating, and you know what irritates the most is that we all know Uguti, it could be prevented.
Yeah, it could be prevented.
And it did not require. We can't say we didn't have capital to prevent it. No.
Yeah.
We can't say we don't have the capacity to do things that could have prevented. No, we can't say that. We have to be realistic. What do you
think? On that note, what do you think? What is that one thing you think we did not have?
We did not have the capacity to do a copy and paste from colonizers.
To learn.
Yeah, we did not have the capacity to learn from our colonizers.
Learn and do better.
Learn and do better. We could have done a copy and paste. The exposure is there. We know what's happening in the first world countries. Yeah. They have been through these situations. Yeah. You don't need an Einstein to figure out if they are in a better position now in so many things. We could have just copied that and learned from. The examples are endless.
No, I think
the examples are endless.
In our episode where we did China's disruption into the mobile industry, they had this thing of one of the approach that they took is exactly what you are saying.
They did it. Well, they
copy, learn and improve.
Improve and make better, and then and be consistent
in that.
Yeah. They have an advantage. You see, copy and paste gives you an advantage of consistency
and have less duration of making mistakes.
Yeah. These negative trees coming out that we're dealing with, you minimize that at all costs. And look at how they started the copy and paste. They started a copy and paste on retail only.
Yeah. That's focused.
At that time,
that's laser focus.
This is in your early 90s. Yeah. They started with one industry, and then once they mastered it in that industry, and then they spread it out.
Took the principles into other industries.
That's why they're in this position now. They're in.
Thank you very much.
Let's come back to
and then let's go to the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Continuum is stages that will help you identify what is CP stage of decay.
Yeah.
Right? We've come up with 5 stages. Right? The first one is healthy cities.
Yeah.
The second one is strained. Right? The third one is captured type of cities, and the third one is mismanagement, then captured, and then chaotic.
Yeah.
Right? So now, if we were to give an analysis and examples, we healthy city, things are predictable, services are predictable. They're gonna come and collect it on Tuesday.
Guaranteed,
electricity is gonna be running without disruption. If there's downtime, or it's an hour or 2.
Yeah,
predictability is there.
There is an agency in response.
Yeah. So, and then the strong institution in terms of If there are state institutions, we know what they deliver. The post office will do what they, with the telecom will do what they need to do. Yeah,
hospitals will run effectively.
You know. And then social reality around it is that high civic trust is there. There's trust in political promises, maybe, you know. And what is physical? What can physical tell you that you are in a healthy city? Is cleanliness.
And the trust that you're talking about is a very motivating force to the society and the people who are in that society. Because the mental effect of trusting your political management, people bayakuthala ourselves in terms of personal thinking. And when the problem yokuthi people are just throwing away
or contribution personally.
There is a personal contribution that is initiated by a trust in them. It's like even in a household, if your kids and your wife trust you in terms of your leadership as a father, you are minimizing stress. If you create an environment of being trusted and delivering,
it's level number 1 of motivation. That's exactly, I get you. So if you want to inspire,
you must be trustworthy.
No, finish.
You can't inspire if you are not trusted.
If you're a dodgy character,
it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem.
So then there's stage 2. How do you know a country is in stage 2? Is that it's gonna be strained. First thing that gets strained is the budget. You know why? Because there's a capital flight. FDI, foreign direct investment, starts
to withdraw.
Yes.
And once they withdraw, now this engine is not now the engine is not running.
Efficiently.
So should I or somebody
so the engine is firing. So it's kind of, what is that thing strains in terms of budget?
Budget it affects a lot of operations.
And the government is reactive. They are not proactive. There's no scheduled maintenance. Whereas we N1, we know every Tuesday at this period or time of the month they'll be cutting grass. You expect to see them next week Tuesday at what time? So once you start seeing them, Maguna G20, then we start doing things when there's events, then we know we are reactive.
And that kind of mentality is a killer.
It's a demon.
It's a deadly demon, which must be eliminated at all costs. And its existence creates other deadly demons.
There's a
recurring and that series of events, once it gets solid, it's difficult to get rid of. It's not an easy exercise.
That's stage 2, by the way.
That's stage 2.
Stage 3 is mismanagement. And then there's politicized administration. So politics starts getting involved in operations. Once you see that kind of behavior, people who are accounting officers, you don't see them saying anything about program, but you see politics talking about program, you must know there's mismanagement aspect, right? That leads to political loyalty overrides. Right? And that leads to dysfunction.
You can't normalize dysfunctionness in any operation.
It gets normalized.
You can't normalize. Once you normalize dysfunctionness,
you are numb. We are at the stage where we are numb.
When you are dysfunctional,
you walk in town and there's feces.
And it's okay.
And there's stench, smell, right? And you just walk, and off you know what you must just inhale and hold your breath. And then on the other side of it, you start breathing. You must know what the dysfunctionality has been normalized.
Man, that normalization of things that are not okay, man. It affects your way of thinking and everything in your life. Once I'll make a typical example. If you normalize, I'll just make an example with alcohol, right? If you normalize getting drunk every weekend, for an example, and that becomes something that is normal. The long-term effects of that normality.
And the self-sabotage.
It's a self-sabotage. So if you convert that same example of alcohol into systems,
state apparatus,
then you'll understand exactly where I'm going with
and then what happens after that, physically, what you want to see is that buildings get abandoned.
Mamela,
People fly.
way of thinking.
People run away. Right? And then stage 4, which is captured city, Yemanji. Right? And then there's corruption networks, there's charlatans, there's crooks, there's con artists there. And then there are parallel power structures, right? Meaning people have their own PTY LTDs in the government system.
Yes. Now the focus is on self-empowerment.
Or maybe let me put it straight. They operate their own networks, so they are syndicates. Into that thing.
And I like the way you have placed them in, because once you understand that when you are captured, you don't just get captured.
There's something comes before.
The strain and the mismanagement and all of those things. Then once you are captured, hey, the reset and the restart.
The term I like is that you have parallel governing structures, but they are parallel to people create their own systems, and that's why you have the word syndicate. And then what's evident with stage 4, it's then hijacked buildings or illegal connections, for an example.
So basically so you'd agree with me if I say basically what we are suggesting is that there are so many other things that needs to be done before you get to a worst case scenario. If the system was locked on service delivery with Mamelan for the next 20 years,
this is what
is expected out of this management or the leadership that we have. If it was locked, we wouldn't find ourselves in a space where we have captured cities or captured CBDs and all of that. High-tech buildings, no.
Legal connections. So then we chaotic city, which is last stage. Chaotic, it's dark zone evidence.
Like Gqeberha, as you said. Then you
So if you were to say Joburg, let's make an example. Let's start with Joburg. Where do you think Joburg is?
Joburg is chaotic now.
Is it a dark zone?
It's a dark zone.
I would like to believe it's in the stage 4.
I saw something. I'm saying it's stage.
Maybe some parts of the city.
Not the entire. Johannesburg CBD is.
I'm not sure what square meter footprint is Joburg.
Let's say the Joburg and the surroundings closer. Like for an example.
Joburg, let's make it south of Joburg. It's poison. Right?
Let's look at let's say maybe
let me give you an example. Let me give
a kilometer radius.
Let's say Joburg south it's stay in Wanje. Poisons. We northwest, right? Amosentin. Right? Naboros
Bank, yes, okay.
Going towards the north.
Okay, I understand where you are going with this. It makes sense. So maybe north is in north and the east.
Boxback,
your Germiston. It's not as bad as the central.
Yes.
So maybe I should be specific in my view, in my point, which is the central
aspect
part,
like Maboneng.
The central
Marshall in Jos, there's Marshalltown. There's a bit north is Lentuzane, Braamfontein.
Braamfontein is still it's
the only surviving part. It's Marshalltown in Joburg, where there's coming from FNB going down to ABSA building.
Yeah.
Ugcine lapho. From FNB City, ne? They call it FNB City.
What's that area where you used to buy my All-Stars? What's
Yeah, that's a peripheral. That's east of Joburg.
Yeah, that's also
that's west.
That's
from GP coming down to Maboneng, going all the way to Wanderers Street, MTN.
Yeah, I know.
Taxi rank.
That's chaos.
That's chaotic.
That's chaotic.
So safe to say we've got 50-50. There's maybe 20% stage 4.
Yeah. We can't say all of it is chaotic. Yeah.
Stage 5.
No, we can't. There are some areas which we could say are still on stage 3.
Pretoria, for the sake of time.
Pretoria now it's similar.
Stage 3 to 4.
It depends on areas. Some areas are on stage 4, some on stage 5. Like I'll give you an example. Acacia in Pretoria.
Yeah.
I think it's on stage 5 now.
You think so?
I could be wrong.
Acacia.
Either 4 or
4 maybe.
Yeah, 4 captured. Yeah. Yes, not chaotic, but captured.
Captured, yeah. Mismanagement aspects in the CPD.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of common factors.
Some areas are still strained.
There's a lot of common factors in how the CPDs are run across our provinces.
Yeah.
Because if you can look at the operation system and the negatives and the positives, we have common problems within our provinces in cities.
Yeah, let's go to Bloemfontein.
I don't know much about Bloemfontein.
Yeah, Bloemfontein, it's I wonder if in a medium well to rare type of situation. It's
slowly getting into.
It's captured to chaotic.
Or captured to chaotic.
Yeah, it's not even mismanagement to capture.
Also, so you'd say Bloemfontein is on stage. It's 4.5.
Yeah. In Gqeberha.
I mean, I've never been to Gqeberha.
In Gqeberha, there are places where there's like heap of dump and no one lives there, and not even street dwellers.
Yeah, and nobody cares.
It looks like a ghost town.
Just like in the movies, man.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
Where around 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, no one. There's no bird flying there. That's chaotic. Gqeberha has got some CPD. I'm talking about, you're talking CPD, remember. We're not talking of the whole of Gqeberha. I'm saying Gqeberha CPD. It's people have moved into these peripheral small cities like in Joburg. We moved to Sentin, to Menlyn, right?
Yes. To be away from the mess.
To be away from the mess. We run away from the CBDs. We move into these modernized small cities or precincts. Let's call them that. Yeah. So these precincts actually cushion us that we can't even see the severity of the decay.
Okay. Yeah, we can go on and on.
We can tweet desktop quickly. Desktop is about cities that went into and came out of.
And came out of the urban decay.
Yes. We have in New York City.
In New York City, I think it's
in the 1970s.
It's a very perfect example, considering the fact that it's a city built by immigrants and immigrants live in there as in majority. I think New York is
now the immigrants wants to fix it through your chap. Mamdani, yes.
Yeah, well, he's fighting with the big dogs.
Yeah. If you say it's the city of the immigrants, it means they contributed in its downfall and they want to repay.
No, they did not contribute to the downfall. The system had loopholes which they used.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were part of it.
Yeah, but let me maybe try and explain my example in a different form. They were coming in to improve the way of life. The immigrants were going there for better opportunities and contribute.
Here's the example, classic example. You will find someone, let me not mention countries, find someone from North Africa coming for a better life here and coming to the CPD and start their own establishment. In South Africa, we don't wash dishes and use that water and throw it on the street. Where there are drains.
There's sewage, there's drains, the water movement.
So the level or standards of hygiene is not the same. So they come with their standards, that is substandard hygiene levels, and come and influence or also perpetrate with decay.
Would you say the immigration that is not managed suffocates?
It actually works as an enzyme. It finds a problem and then speed it up.
Speed it up. And the speeding up of that problem, in my view, it brings you closer to the reality of what needs to be done in order to progress.
It's got the opposite effect of it.
Yes.
Inversely proportional. So say immigrants or illegal immigrants or just immigrants, they come into a country, right?
Yeah.
And they bring superior standards of way of life. They will then bring about what you're saying.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, okay, we can make an example with Cape Town. The immigration that is there is happening, that exists in Cape Town, in most parts of Cape Town. It's a progressive immigration because it's inviting investors. It's
got progressive impact.
Yeah, it's got a progressive impact. Whereas immigration that is happening in Joburg Central, it's an immigration of people who are not financially independent. Therefore, immigration enjalo, an immigration that is a majority of people who are not financially strong or capital strong has these problems that we have.
I'll leave it at that because I'm writing again is on Medellin, which is Colombia. Now it went under and came back, and it took them 12 years, right?
How long did it take New York before we move on?
Plus minus 15 years.
And that's not a long time.
Yeah, and guess both of them, they are mayors they involved. It's Urudi, Gqeberha.
Yeah, excuse the spelling, but it's Gqeberha.
Yeah, Urudi. And then Usejo, Fajado.
Fajado, Sejo Fajado.
Mayor. We met the link.
And then in okay.
And then in Bilbao, Spain, which is Española.
Yeah, Española. It took them also almost similar to 10 to 15, similar to New York.
Inaki Azcuna.
Where is that?
Which is the mayor.
Oh.
Another mayor, right?
In Spain.
In Spain.
Okay.
Detroit, United States. They went under for about 10 years, which is 2013 to 2023. They recently came out in Detroit. And
those years, is it the same mayor or different mayors? Or
so the mayor that influenced the imaging out of the mess.
Okay, it makes sense.
So we emergency manager that was the face of the recovery at Detroit. It's an emergency manager instead of a mayor. Kevin. Right? And then Seoul, which is South Korea. It took them 8 to 10 years, which is 2000 to 2010.
So we can comfortably say average.
Yeah, only takes 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, 10 to 15 average.
Yeah, only Myung Park, who's the mayor, also assisted to take them out. So all, in essence, what are the key interventions that they deploy? It's mostly it's strong metro governance. It's government related. Ishometa mentioned came through governance. So we're not going to go through them for the sake of time, right? And the methods that they use is to centralize executive authority, a restoration of rule of law, fiscal reset and financial discipline, visibility, catalytic infrastructure project, right? Professionalization of administration, public-private collaboration, clear urban vision and narratives, political courage and unpopular decisions that they had to take. Those are the methods that generally used across the board.
And if we have to be realistic and fair, all of this it's not like we don't have people who can do all of this.
Yeah, I have reservations to that idea. Yes and no. Yes, we do have people who are knowledgeable, who have international experience maybe in the government or in the executive management, whether of private or and public companies. Yes, we do have those people. But we go back to the point that you've made initially. Are we able to learn from the mistakes of others and improve from them? That's a different type of capacity.
Yeah, the copy and paste requires different way of thinking. Yeah. Yeah, you have to be selfless. You ethics have to be on a different
point.
Yeah.
Your moral compass must be well calibrated.
Must be.
You understand? So that explains, in summary, it explains.
When you say well calibrated,
what's the German?
Fußbrandlich technique. Yeah.
That's the situation.
That's the situation.
So it answers the question that we asked Guti. What really, if we have so much, but what are the fundamental things that gets us into this situation of decay in our topic, right? It's the ability to learn from others. It's a different type of capacity and skill that you must have.
Yeah, because the
mentions ethics that must be.
Yeah, Joe, we in our leadership, I would say we have a majority of people who think this whole world is the size of their brain.
Yeah.
They think they know it all.
Tick. That's the problem.
That's the problem. That's a big problem.
Let me take you, while you are still warmed up, let me take you to your 1 minute pitch, right?
Yeah.
Preventative aspects. Let me set up my time, are you ready?
Yes.
Starting from now.
Yeah, my view is straightforward on this one. To minimize the urban decay that we are in now is implementing more stricter operating systems and lock them for a certain period and to be reviewed based on the progress that is going to be made on that particular system that has been locked. And then on top of that, you implement stricter monitoring operations on systems. They have to be reviewed on a regular basis to see if they are working or they are not working. And then preventative choices in terms of allocating people in their positions. We need to be more stricter on that part as well. People must be appointed on position based on qualifications, not this cadre deployment that has been happening.
Thank you, Bafo. Yeah, look, I'm sold to your pitch.
Yeah,
I'm sold to your pitch. Let me rather do a continuation or amplifying your pitch.
Okay.
Now, starting, I point my finger at one office for the good and the bad of it, which is mayoral office.
Yeah.
The reason why I believe mayors are the ones who are, I would say, they are letting us down. Right? It's because if you looked at the examples that we brought, in how in New York, in Colombia, Medellin, and in Spain, they came out. It's just mayors rather, that assisted them to come out of that deep or darkness, right? So it means if mayors, not so why I'm keeping saying lawyers, if mayors are competent enough and they are visionaries, cities can be maintained, not to either sustained to a good state, healthy state, stage 1 or stage 2, right? And then it can be prevented to go into stage 3, 4, and 5. So mayors are the culprits. Thank you.
So with that being said, I think my take home is that we are trapped in a corruption on top of a corruption on top of another corruption. We have a stack So we have a stack.
Layers of corruption.
We have layers and layers. So the best thing to do in that, you don't fix from the ground up. You fix from the top to bottom. That is my take on Guti.
Yeah.
This system requires a very strong hand to come in and say, this nonsense must stop from the top.
Yeah.
Guti, layers of corruption, you can't fight them from the bottom.
Yeah, they become impermeable.
Yes.
They're not penetratable.
They are not penetratable if you're gonna take them from the
Fix from the bottom.
From the bottom, no. So we have to fix from the top. Going
As they
down.
say, the fish rots from the head.
Thank you.
I mean, my take, interesting take this time around. I think that far more better in a take than any other captain I had to take from these sessions. It's the domino effect of things.
Yeah.
It was quite impressive and mind-blowing to realize that one issue leads to another, and this opens up onto the other to really influence it negatively, and it becomes a snowball effect. The realization of that, it really blew my mind.
You've just touched another thing. I don't know how, but I'm thinking, Uguti, there is no success or progress without chaos. That is genuine. In order to be in a position of proper management or anything, either yourself or your system, there has to be chaos first. So the chaos is a trigger of the right decisions or solutions or suggestions come from chaos. Chaotic situations create opportunities.
Nice. So yeah, we can descend. I guess I'm satisfied.
Yeah, no, I'm also satisfied. The flight was very beautiful. We used the runway independent thinking in our takeoff, as we are also now descending with runway independent thinking. Please fasten your seatbelt, put your seats in an upright position, close your overhead storages as we get ready to land, and please, we would like to invite you to our next destination, which will be flight TM016. That's the good, the bad, and the ugly of the existence of our marriages as South Africans. This one is going to be a very, very interesting one. How do you think about it? How do you feel about it?
I can't wait.
I can't.
Yeah, and I cannot fully prepare myself for it, but in my bones lie so many things to unpack.
Yeah, I think this one, I don't need a preparation because I've experienced it as a person live. So
we can talk from experience.
I'll be talking from experience on this particular flight, and I'm very interested.
Yeah. So as we always do, you need to do the traditional stuff, the motivational things, which is to press the buttons where you need to press them. Be reminded, be part of the cabin crew, by following and stuff. We'll really appreciate that, and we always do say, Rwanda City.